All right, so guys, today we're going to do some expanding using negative numbers. So yesterday we've done expanding using positive numbers. I'm going to do a question from yesterday's work, and I'm going to do questions from today's work. It's really similar. The only difference is we have negative numbers now. Okay, so this example that I'm going to give you is from yesterday's work. All right, so when we expanding the bracket out, so when we have a number that's outside the bracket, something like this as an example, so that's e.g. We need to all right, so guys, we got this example, all right, and we're going to expand this bracket out with the number that's outside the bracket. So the rule that we've applied is we have to multiply the number that's outside the bracket by the numbers and the letters inside the bracket. So in this case, it's going to be 2 times x is going to be 2x plus 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so it's a plus 8. That's why we have a plus there. If we had another example, so if I put the same example but only change the sign this time, we're going to have a different answer with a different sign on it. Okay, so if you use the same rule, okay, we're going to go 2 times x is 2x, and then 2 times minus 4 is going to be minus 8. So therefore, we're going to have minus 8.
Guys, I'm still alive in Roblox.
So when you have a negative inside the bracket, okay, that makes it a negative 8 when you multiply 2 with negative 4. All right, so with today's class, an example, this is what we need to do. It's the same principle, we're applying the same principle, but now instead of having the negative inside the bracket, we're going to have the negative outside the bracket. So example of that is going to be, so I'm going to put example 2. So let's use 3 minus 3 brackets x plus 2. Okay, so when we have an expression like this, we apply the same rule. So we multiply the number that's outside the bracket with the numbers and letters inside the bracket. So negative 3 times 3x is going to be negative 3x. Okay, negative 3 times 2 is going to be negative 6. Okay, let's do another example. Let's go, let's use the same example, but have the negative inside the bracket as well and outside the bracket as well. So we're going to have negative 3, x minus 2, and let's have a look at the result that we're going to get. So again, we apply the same rule. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is going to be? No, plus 6. We're not plusing, we're timesing. We're multiplying, okay? All right, guys, so the only difference here that we have to realize is that when we're multiplying negative numbers, a negative number by a negative number, answer is going to be a positive number. When we multiply a negative number with a positive number, then our answer is going to be a negative number. Example of that is negative 2 times negative 2, okay, is going to be, like 2 times 2 is 4, but let's look at the sign. Negative times negative is going to be a positive 4, so that's why we put a positive 4. You don't have to put the positive there, you can just write just the 4. That means it's still positive, okay? But if you have negative 2 times 2, all right, you can just do the numbers first. 2 times 2 is 4, and let's look at the signs. So we've got a negative number and a positive number, so it's going to be a negative 4, so that's why you put the negative there. Okay, guys, so I got another example here. We have negative 3, and then we've got bracket 6 plus x. we apply the same rule. We still multiply the numbers that's outside the bracket with the numbers that's inside the bracket. So we've got -3 times 6 is going to be -18. And then we've got -3 times x, -3x. So that's going to be your answer.